Alright, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro. And of course, welcome back to Gurong Pinoy. Meron pa pong mga humahabol, no? Meron pang nagpapa-enroll, nagpapa-member. Ngayon lamang nagpa-member. Hopefully, kakayanin pa po, no? Kakayanin pa kahit na medyo cramming na po talaga. And so, palagi po yung advice natin dito sa Gurong Pinoy, as soon as you can, you have to become a member para po hindi kayo nauubusan ng oras. And of course, hindi din kayo na-pressure, hindi kayo nagka-cram. The more time that you have in your preparation, the better would be your, we all hope, no, the better would be your lab results, okay? But of course, sa mga humahabol pa po, habol na. Hopefully, makatulong pa rin po yung ating final coaching na group. Andyan po, ang ating full membership na group, andyan din. Of course, we also have our classified files. Final coaching day 10, we will start after our opening prayer. So, samahan niyo po ako, mga kaguro. Dear Lord, I come to you to ask for your guidance and direction in this study session. I ask that the Holy Spirit fill me with strength, creativity, and understanding to get through my studies without difficulty or sin. Help me hold my focus and attention. Help me to retain all that I learned. Please make my mind sharp and keep distractions at bay. If any part of my studying is weak or lacking in some way, let it be revealed so that I may correct it. Thank you for this opportunity to learn. Amen. All right, again, this is final coaching day 10. I will give you a minute to please share our video. Share our video po. Let me just read a few of our comments sa ating comment section. Si Sir Omo, Isan, Packers, Sarpida. Good evening po ma'am, watching from Bulacan. Good evening po, good evening. Okay, so again, sa lahat ng ating mga kaguro, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, at of course, team abroad, no? Hello po, good evening sa inyong lahat. Okay, so sabi ni Sir Jason Cardenas, no, hindi na po niya nababasa lahat ng classified files, okay? Kudos sa ating lahat, sabi ni Sir Jason, manifesting. All of us will pass the examination this upcoming September 24, okay? Or yes, September 24, no? So meron na din tayong, marami na rin tayong mga classified files. Kanina po, nag-send na tayo ng mga classified files with the items that we saw in the previous lab. No? So again, if you're a member of Team Skinner, you have access to all those files. You may download, you may print, or kung hindi naman po, pwede din namang basahin nyo na lamang po. Okay? Nakakakaba kasi malapit ng exam. Pero sa tulong ng Gurong Pinoy at sa gabay ng Panginoon, alam ko papasa ako. Papasa kaming lahat, LPT, sa December. That's coming from Ma'am Roslyn Torres, of course. Okay? Of course po. Alright, so again, good evening. Good evening. Paki-share na po ng ating video. And of course, paki-like na po ng ating video. Si Ma'am Yensel Haralve. Good evening po ma'am. Watching from Dapitan City, Zamboanga del Norte. Hello po sa mga taga Mindanao, no? Lalo-lalo na sa ating mga Muslim brothers and sisters. At Assalamualaikum po. Good evening to everyone. Malapit na, kabado na si Ma'am Lea Lee Talanya. Good evening po. Again, paki-share na po ng ating video. Maraming salamat Ma'am Cherry Vitudio for tagging your friends. Ganon din si Ma'am Jeline Hinong. Okay, all right. This is final coaching again, day 10, the last for our Team Skinner's final coaching. Let us all start with question number 1. Number 1, which is an implication of a positively skewed distribution? Letter A, students have high IQ. Letter B, there was mastery of the lesson. Letter C, teaching was effective. Or letter D, teaching was not effective. What do you think is the right choice for question number 1? Tumpak kaya for question number 1? Or ligwalkers kaya for question number 1? I know Team Skinner medyo expert na sa lahat ng ating mga items, no? Very gamay na, no? Gamay na ng ating Team Skinner, lahat ng ating mga items. Okay, number 1, I see letter D. Going back to the question that we have here, the question is asking, ano yung implication kapag kayong inyong score distribution is positively skewed. No? So sabi ng letter A, students have high IQ, there was mastery of the lesson, or letter C, teaching was effective, or sabi ng letter D, teaching was not effective. Meron ako nakitang comment kanina, add one out, no? So sabi dito, high IQ, my mastery, teaching was effective. The only choice that you have here, which is negative of course, is letter D, and that is tumpak, no? So letter D, congratulations sa mga nakakuha ng tumpak na choice. Sa mga members ng Team Yabang, hello po, congratulations. Okay, remember, if you are talking about skewedness, it is the opposite, no? Wag niyo pong iisipin na kapag ka positively skewed or skewed to the right, ay matataas yung score. Baliktad po, no? Because we are actually talking about the tail. Ang tail po, yung tapered end ng ating score distribution, yung ating tinitingnan. Ito yung parte ng ating score distribution kung saan mas kokonte yung scores, no? The tail, that's positively skewed. If you are talking about positively skewed score distribution or skewed to the right, that means mas kokonte yung mga nakakuha ng magagandang scores. And so yung bulk ng inyong scores are here, no, towards 0, for example, or towards the low side of your grade distribution. Okay, so positively skewed or skewed to the right, that means the scores of the students were low. Okay, now the negative skewedness naman, or skewed to the left, that is the opposite. That means kukonte yung mga nakakuha ng mabababang scores, mas marami yung nakakuha ng magagandang scores, and so the performance of your student was good, no? Maganda yung naging performance ng inyong estudyante. Now, this one right here in the middle is your symmetrical distribution, or what we call your normal curve, no? Normal curve, that means mas marami sa kanila average yung nakuha, okay? And so, for number 1, letter D is tumpak. Hello, good evening, Sir Brian Liboon. Merry Christmas na kaagad, no? Advance to Sir Brian. We go to number 2. He is considered the father of modern media in education. Letter A, Sean Piaget. Letter B, Robert Gagne. Letter C, B.F. Skinner. Or letter D, Edgar Dale. Who is our choice? Sino kaya ang tumpak na choice for question number 2? Number 2, who is your choice? Please put your answers in your comment box. Write your answer in your comment box for question number 2. I see letter D. Letter D. Tama kaya ang letter D for number 2? Okay, number 2, letter D. Letter D. May iilang iba ang sagot? Tumpak kaya ang letter D, no? So he is considered the father of modern media in education. Ang tumpak na choice here would be letter D, Edgar Dale. Okay, so letter D is tumpak. Congratulations sa mga nakakuha po ng ating tumpak na choice. Remember, Edgar Dale was the one who gave us the cone of experience, no? So ito po, cone of experience, cone of learning according to Edgar Dale. Sabi niya, you can only remember 10% of what you have read. So kung nagbabasa ka lamang, kunwari may nagpasa lamang sa iyo ng mga files for the let, no, you can only remember 10% of what you have read. If you have heard it, you can remember 20% of it. If you have seen it, that's 30%. If you see and hear it, kunwari dito sa ating discussion, you can see it on our slides and you can also hear our discussion, that's 50%. If you say it and you write it, no? So some of our students here, yung iba sa ating mga kaguro, mas nagiging effective sa kanila yung note-taking, no? So kahit na meron po tayong files na sinisend, kahit na meron po tayong videos, po pwedeng makinig, po pwedeng manood, meron pa rin silang mga notebooks, no? Ang daming notes. I know some of you, siguro puno na po yung inyong walls ng lahat ng mga notes natin for the licensure exam, okay? So that's 70%, of course, and what you do, you can remember 90%. And so, yung naging trend ngayon sa ating modern day of teaching would be teaching using real-life experiences, di ba? Authentic assessment. We are moving away from your paper pencil test or what you call your traditional testing, no? Mas maganda ngayon na ginagamit na yung ating authentic or your alternative assessment, okay? common questions regarding your cone of experience would be, tinatanong ka ng let, what happens as you go down the cone of experience? According to Edgar Dale, no? As you go down, what happens? And so yung magiging choice mo doon, as you go down, the experiences or the activities are real life, no? They become more realistic. As you go up naman, they become more abstract, okay? They become more abstract if you go up your cone of experience, okay? So that's letter D, Edgar Dale, for question number 2. Now, what about the rest of your choices? So, si Piaget, of course, marami din siyang binigay sa atin, cognitive development theory. We will go to that in our next slide. No? Iisa-isahin natin, of course, lahat ng concepts ni Piaget. Robert Gagne, of course, siya yung nagbigay sa atin ng 9 events of instruction. So, sabi ni Gagne, you start from the basic to the more complicated. You start from the concrete to the more abstract. No? So you start with motivation. Napaka-importante that the students are ready to learn. Dapat you follow the 9 events of instruction. Diba? So you follow that. You start with motivation. Dapat ready yung bata. Hindi po pwedeng diretso ka sa inyong presentation na walang readiness yung bata. B.F. Skinner, as members of Team Skinner, dapat alam nyo po, B.F. Skinner, of course, gave us operant conditioning. No? So we have Skinner's operant conditioning theory, reward and punishment. Whenever the child would do something good, you give the child rewards. Whenever the child would do something bad, you punish the child, no? In hope, no? In the hope that you can shape the behavior of the child. Okay, so that's B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning theory. If you see rewards and punishment sa item po sa ating let, your answer would be B.F. Skinner. Okay, let's take a look at Jean Piaget's cognitive development theory. Of course, you have the 4 different stages. Now you have sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage. Then of course, you have formal operational stage. Okay, so smart people cook fish, di ba? Yan yung ating mnemonic. Smart people cook fish. So unang-una, sensory motor stage, from birth to 2 years, dito po yung bata is trying to develop his motor skills using the different senses. No? So kaya maraming burloloy sa crib ng ating bata. Di ba? Meron tayong mga tinatawag na mobile, yung mga nakakabit, yung mga nakahang sa cribs ng ating mga anak. No? Because the child should be in an environment na rich sa sensory impressions, di ba? So dapat may mga rattles ka, different colors, different shapes, different sounds dahil your child is learning through the different senses. Okay? Now, ang pinaka milestone po sa ating sensory motor stage here would be object permanence, no? So alam na ng bata na kahit na nilagyan mo ng kumot yung bola, andyan pa rin yung bola sa ilalim ng kumot, no? That's object permanence, no? So before or prior to the child having object permanence, na-enjoy ng bata yung game na peekaboo, di ba? Yung peekaboo. Kasi every time you would close or cover something, the child would forget about it, no? Prior to set to object permanence. No? Kapag wala pang object permanence yung bata, kapag tinakpan mo yung isang bagay, nakakalimutan na niya, no? Common question din po ito sa let, no? Out of sight, out of mind yung sinasabi, no? If the child exhibits out of sight, out of mind, that means kapag hindi niya nakikita, hindi niya naaalala anong stage sa cognitive development theory ni Piaget yung bata. And so your answer there would be your sensory motor stage. Of course, another hallmark of your sensory motor stage is stranger anxiety. Takot yung bata sa mga strangers. Kapag hindi niya kakilala, yung kukuha sa kanya, kakarga sa kanya, iiyak yung bata. No? So hindi po dahil hindi nyo palaging nilalabas yung bata, hindi dahil kulang sa social exposure yung bata, kundi dahil, according to Jean Piaget, it is normal, no, for a child during that stage to have stranger anxiety. Now, we go to the next stage, which is pre-operational stage. Now, ang pinaka-hallmark na characteristic ng bata dito would be egocentrism, di ba? When you say egocentrism, selfishness. Akala ng bata, kung ano yung nakikita niya, ano yung nararamdaman niya, yun din yung nakikita at nararamdaman ng ibang tao. That's selfishness. Common questions in the let. Pumunta kayo sa isang restaurant. This restaurant restaurant, you always frequent, no, this restaurant. Tapos tinanong yung bata, anong gusto mong kainin? Sabi ng bata, yung kinain ko kahapon or yung kinain ko last week. So akala ng bata, kung ano yung naaalala niya, naaalala din natin. O kung ano yung nararamdaman niya, nararamdaman din natin. That's pre-operational, that's egocentrism. Okay? Egocentrism po yan. All right, so that's pre-operational stage, egocentrism. Ang anak mo dito, wala din siyang tinatawag na conservation, di ba? The child here is exhibiting centration. Kapag sinabi pong centration, naka-center, naka-focus lamang yung atensyon ng bata sa isang aspeto ng isang bagay. And so kapag binigyan mo siya ng dalawang baso, for example, no, dalawang baso, may 100 ml of water, tapos nilipat mo yung isa, no, yung isang content sa taller, narrower glass, yung isa naman sa wider glass, and you ask the child at the pre-operational stage kung saan dito or kung alin dito yung mas maraming laman, sasabihin ng bata would be this, no, the taller, narrower glass. Kasi akala niya, dahil nga mas matangkad, no, yung basong ito, mas marami siyang laman, no? So that would be centration. Nakatuon lamang siya sa isang aspeto ng isang bagay, no? That's still during your pre-operational stage. All right, now you move on to your 7 to 11 years old, concrete operational stage. This one is concrete operational. Kahit papaano, meron ng logic yung bata dito, but we call this concrete operational because the child here is doing logic with the use of concrete things or concrete objects. Okay, so hindi pa siya nakakapag-abstraction, no? Hindi pa niya kaya yung hypothetical thinking, no? Nakikita lamang niya yung bagay. Whenever your child needs to do logic, dapat gagamit ka ng concrete objects, yung mga nakikita niyang bagay. No? So here, meron na siyang conservation. Yung wala kanina sa ating pre-operational stage, no? Meron na sa ating concrete operational. So that's conservation. Alam niya, kahit nilipat mo siya into the taller, narrower glass, ganun pa rin yung amount, no? Or we sometimes would call this process decentration. Hindi na siya centered sa isang aspeto ng bagay. Along with that, you also have seriation. When you say seriation, ang bata po nakakapag-form na ng series. Okay? Yung anak mo nakakapag-form na ng series, nakakapag-arrange na ng objects from smallest to biggest, from shortest to longest. No? That's still part of your concrete operational. Meron na din siyang reversibility. Pag sinabi mong reversibility, nakakapag-subtract na yung anak mo. Alam na niya that subtraction is the opposite of addition. Okay? So that's reversibility. Kahit na yung clay ay ginawa mong flat, alam ng anak mo na po pwede niya ibalik sa bolang form, no? Sa circular form. Okay? So that's reversibility. Again, the child here can already perform logical thinking, but still with the use of concrete objects. And of course, the last stage is formal operational. Dito, hypothetical thinking na abstraction na kayang-kaya na ng bata. Okay? So, even if you give the child some hypothetical situations, nakakasagot na yung bata. Alright? So, these are the different stages according to Jean Piaget's cognitive development theory. Sana po klaro na tayo sa cognitive development theory. Huwag po magtitake ng let kung hindi pa po ito klaro sa atin. No? Lahat po ito paborito ng inyong licensure exam for teachers. Okay, we go to still, no, these are still parts of the concepts of Jean Piaget. Meron siyang sinabi na meron siyang term na schema. Kapag sinabi mo pong schema, here, the boy has learned the schema of a cat. Ang schema po, according to Jean Piaget, para siyang file cabinet sa ating mga utak, di ba? So, kada konsepto na inyo pong nalilearn ay nakalagay po sa isang file cabinet or sa isa pong schema. Okay, now, the child has learned the schema of a cat, no? So, ito yung schema niya, ito yung idea niya ng isang kuting, no? So, ng isang pusa or isang cat. Now, when the boy saw a cub, for example, no, your cub of course is here, no, pinakita small tiger, no. Boy saw a cub and called it a cat. the sister said, no, it is a cub. No? So hindi siya cat, although technically, if you are going to go technical, and if you think of science, di ba, mag-cousins yung inyong tigers, cats, lions, etc. No? But here, of course, hindi parehas yung inyong pusa sa inyong tigre, okay? Pero tinawag pa rin niyang cat. And so, if the child still has the same schema, notice the two S's that we have here, the same schema, hindi nagbago ang schema ng bata, we call this process assimilation, okay? That's assimilation. Now, when the child has already recognized or the child has already learned na, hindi pala to cat, no? Hindi siya pusa, ito ay isang tigre or it is a cub, the child's schema has changed. A change in schema is termed accommodation. Okay, so this time, accommodation po yan. Very common item sa let, no? So, you have to know the difference between assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation, the same schema. Accommodation is the change in schema. There is another term which is equilibration. Ang equilibration naman po would be the balance between your assimilation and accommodation. Okay, so sana klaro, assimilation, the same schema, accommodation, change in schema. Okay, we move on with question number 3. The teacher begins to use technology tools to deliver curriculum content to the system. Letter A, transformation. Letter B, adoption. Letter C, active. Or letter D, entry. Ito yung mga questions na nagpayanig sa licensure exam for teachers noong 2019. No? Nung unang-unang lumabas yung mga items na to in September 2019, medyo nagulantang yung lahat. No? These are all part of your technology integration matrix. And dapat po, memoryado nyo na to. No? What's the difference between entry, active, adoption, transformation, etc. Okay? What is your choice? Number 3. Number 3, ano po yung ating tumpak na choice? Again, please do share our video. Maraming salamat to all 2,255 viewers that we have tonight. Good evening po. Sana po lahat tayo ay makapasa, no? Lahat po kayo makapasa sa inyong licensure exam for teachers. Okay, I see letter D, entry. Letter D, entry, 2,319, 323. Good evening po. Okay, letter D, entry for number 3. The teacher begins to use technology tools to deliver curriculum content to the system. Your hint would be the term begins. Begins. Okay, ngayon pa lamang gumamit ng technology ang guro. And so, ang tumpak na choice here would be letter D, entry. Okay, so letter D, entry is tumpak for question number 3. Now, we have video on this no, sa ating YouTube channel. Remember, you have to do movie marathon dyan po sa ating YouTube channel. YouTube channel is also Gurong Pinoy. There's so many videos there. At palagi ko pong sinasabing advice po ng ating mga top-notchers, watch at least 3 videos of Gurong Pinoy every day, no, para hindi lamang papasa, magtatap din, of course, sa ating licensure exam for teachers. No? So, meron po tayong technology integration matrix sa ating YouTube channel with free quiz at the end. So sana po napanood nyo na po ito para po wag nang mahirapan once you see all these items here. Now, so levels of technology integration, you have 5 different levels here. Entry, adoption, adaptation, infusion, and transformation. Ang entry po would be this, no? So ang teacher ay nag-learn pa lamang or nag-umpisa pa lamang gamitin ang technology sa kanyang pagtuturo. Now, when the teacher begins to use technology tools, that would be called entry. Okay? Now, the next step is adoption. Pag sinabi mo pong adoption, the teacher guides the students in the conventional use of technology. Kapag po sinabi mong conventional, the usual use. For example, no, the use of Microsoft Word to type, no, to make letters, for example. So conventional use of the different technologies, the teacher just guides the students in the conventional use of this technology, that would be called adoption. Adoption po yan, second level. Third level is adaptation. Here, the students are given a chance for independent exploration. Okay? So, hinahayaan yung mga bata na mag-explore. Hinahayaan yung mga bata na gamitin ang certain technology. Pero, napaka-importante po na ating naiintindihan that in your adaptation, still the students have no choice kung anong technology yung gagamitin nila. No? They can explore, pero yung teacher pa rin yung nagmamando kung ano yung technology yung kanilang e-explore. For example, the teacher introduces the PowerPoint and the teacher says, I need you or I want you to explore what you can do sa PowerPoint, no? sa application na to or sa software na to. Okay? So that would be adaptation. The students are given a chance for independent exploration, but the teacher is still the one that chooses the technology. Wala pa rin freedom yung bata, yung mga estudyante, kung anong technology yung kanilang gagamitin. Now, once the students were given the freedom to choose the technology, that's already the next level, which we call infusion. Okay, so infusion na po yan. Sabi ng teacher, I want you to make your project and you have the freedom to choose whichever technology you can use. Okay, so once the students are able to choose the technology or the tool to use, that will be called infusion. And lastly, the highest of these levels here would be transformation. Ang transformation naman po, the students are able to have innovative use of the different technologies, and without this technology, the certain activity will not be possible. Okay, so hindi kaya, hindi posible ang activity na to inside the classroom kung wala yung technology na ginagamit ng mga bata, and this is the innovative use of a certain technology na. So rurok na, kumbaga, no, that's the highest level of your technology integration. That will be transformation. Okay, so sana klaro. Entry, the teacher begins to use technology tools. Adoption, the teacher guides the students in the conventional use of your technology. Adaptation, the students are given a chance to explore, but still the teacher is the one choosing the tool. Infusion, the students are given the freedom to choose whatever tool they can use. And transformation, innovative use of technology. Without a certain technology, the activity in the classroom will not be possible. Okay, so these are the 5 different levels of technology integration. Again, go to our YouTube channel later and watch this video. Okay, so number 3, letter D, ang ating tumpak na choice. We go to number 4. Of the following, what is a good example of learning to do activity in teaching and learning? Letter A, self-assessment of learning a module. Letter B, lecture on the topic of patriots. Letter C, demonstration of baking skills. Or letter D, monitoring of learning drills. What's your choice? This is pertaining to your 4 pillars of education. Meron din po tayong video, no? Nandiyan din po sa ating YouTube channel ang ating video on the 4 pillars of education. Sana po napanood na po ninyo. Okay, I see letter C. Letter C. Tumpak kaya ang letter C for question number 4. Good evening. Good evening sa inyong lahat. Number 4, I see letter C. Okay, letter C. For question number 4, we are looking for learning to do. Learning to do. And so, ang tumpak na choice here would be letter C, demonstration of baking skills. Tama for question number 4. You remember we have 4 different pillars of learning. No? So 4 pillars of learning. You have learning to live together, learning to be, learning to do, and learning to know. Ito yung hinahanap natin kanina, di ba? Learning to know. Let's go to that later. No? Unahin natin ang learning to live together. So dito, this includes the development of social skills and values and an appreciation of the diversity of the world. So kumbaga, kaya mong makatrabaho kahit sino, kahit na iba yung inyong barangay captain, no? Usong-uso ngayon, no? Napapanahon yung ating barangay elections. Iba yung sinusuportahan yung barangay captain, iba yung sinusuportahan yung barangay captain, but still, you are able to tolerate your political differences and you're able to live together, no? You appreciate someone kahit na iba-iba yung inyong paniniwala, kahit na iba-iba yung inyong estilo, no? Hindi ka nakikipag-away, hindi ka nakikipagbasag ulo, no? So that's learning to live together in peace and harmony. Meron pa ngang ganyan, no? Meron pa siyang karugtong. All right? So being able to work with other people, being able to be tolerant, kahit na iba-iba po yung ating values, iba-iba po yung ating paniniwala. Learning to be, ability to personally develop and creatively contribute independently. When you say learning to be, usually we'd say this is becoming the best version of yourself. Okay? So becoming the best version of yourself. Kung inaakala mo or kung feeling mo, meron ka pang magagawa, meron ka pang ipupush, no? So becoming the best version. Kumbaga, hindi lamang 2.0, kundi 4.0, maaaring 5.0 pa, no? So yourself 5.0, that's learning to be, becoming the best version of yourself, your ability to personally develop, very important for us as teachers that we continue growing because of course naniniwala tayo that learning is a lifelong process. Okay, so learning to be, that's becoming the best version of yourself. Learning to do, ito po yung ating hinahanap kanina. So these are pertaining, or this is pertaining to the skills, no? So ability to develop skills, solve problems, and application of knowledge. Okay, so meron kang skills, you are competent, you have the ability, no? You are able to solve problems, you can apply what you have learned. Hindi po pwedeng meron kang na-learn pero hindi mo na-apply, no? Na-learn mo to from Gurong Pinoy, once you go and get your licensure exam for teachers, na blanco ka, di ba? So hindi po pwede. You have to have the test-taking skills. You should be able to apply what you have learned, no? So that's learning to do. And of course, learning to know, this is pertaining to your mental capacity, okay? So ability to concentrate, storage of information, thinking, and developing knowledge, no? It's all in the brain. So kumbaga, pinapakita ng ating 4 pillars of learning is holistic education, di ba? Holistic development of an individual. Hindi sapat na marami kang alam. Dapat marami ka ding skills, di ba? So hindi sapat na utak lamang lahat. Dapat meron ka ding skills. Marunong kang gumawa. May manual dexterity ka, no? So you are flexible. Dapat you should be able to be open to criticisms, and you are open that you can still learn, no? That you're not perfect. Marami ka pa rin dapat i-learn, no? That's learning to be, and you should be able to work with other people, no? You should become a team person, okay? So dapat team player ka, hindi po pwedeng ikaw lamang mag-isa always, 'di ba? Marami tayong kakilala, masyadong matalino, but that person cannot work with other people, or that person does not have the heart, no? Or medyo hindi mo siya makausap dahil parang weirdo, no? Iba yung kanyang sagot sa inyong mga tanong, okay? So as parents and as teachers, very important that we develop and we teach our students holistically, okay? So hindi lamang all the brain, you should also work with their hands, you should also work with their hearts, no? So that they can become the best versions of yourself. Now, meron pa po tayong 5th pillar of learning, which is learning to transform, no? Wala po siya dito dahil yung 5th pillar of learning po natin, as I've mentioned, learning to transform, it does not pertain to the student or to the person, but it pertains to the curriculum, okay? So pag sinabi mong learning to transform, the curriculum should be able to transform as needed, no? So kaya nung nag-pandemic, we shifted to online learning, to online teaching, to modular teaching. So the curriculum should be able to transform according to the needs and the demands of our society. Okay, so that's the 5th pillar of learning. All right, so sana po, klaro na itong lahat. We go to question number 5. In the levels of proficiency, 79 belongs to blank. Letter A, beginning. Letter B, advanced. Letter C, approaching. Or letter D, developing. What's your choice? Number 5. Ito, tinuro ko na sa inyo, no? So, tinuro ko na po sa inyo yung ating mga mnemonics, no? Yung ating acronyms for the different levels of proficiency according to your K-12. Your bida pa and di fa sa very old. Di ba? So sana po naalala, especially ng ating Team Skinner members. All right, letter D for number 5, developing. Tumpak kaya ang developing? We are looking at the score of 79. Okay, so here, nakikita nyo, wala po tayong yung S, no? Wala tayong letter S. And so we cannot use di fa sa, very old, no? What we can use here would be bida pa. Bida pa. Our mnemonics, bida pa. Okay, so 79, remember the different ranges of scores. But of course, letter D po is tumpak. For number 5, congratulations. Our ranges of scores from 74 and below, of course, yan po ay did not meet expectations or bagsak, di ba? So, bagsak siya, no? Hindi pumasa. All right, 75 to 79, then you have 80 to 84, 85 to 89, and 90 to 100 as the highest. Okay, so as I've mentioned, meron po tayong dalawang mnemonics here. Since wala tayong letter S, no, walang satisfactory dyan, the mnemonic that we are going to use would be bida pa, no? Bida pa would stand for beginning, developing, then you have approaching, no? Approaching proficiency, proficient, and advanced. Okay, so approaching proficiency, proficient, and advanced. And here, we can see that 79 is part, no, parte siya ng ating second range. And so, second level, yung ating tinitingnan, that to be letter D, which is developing. Kaya letter D po ang ating tumpak na choice dito. If we have satisfactory here, or different levels naman sa isa nating mnemonic would be did not meet expectations, fairly satisfactory. If ganito po yung choices ninyo, your answer should have been fairly satisfactory, di ba? Fairly satisfactory. Then you have 80 to 84 satisfactory, 85 to 89 is very satisfactory, and 90 to 100 is outstanding. Okay? So outstanding naman imbis na advanced. All right? So sana po alam na ito. Lumalabas po sa let yan, hindi po mawawala yung different levels of proficiency. These terms, you might see these terms or you might see di fa sa very old. Okay? So sana alam na natin, no? Familiar na sa atin, na memoryado na natin. All right? So number 5, letter D, ang tumpak na choice. Number 6, how many learning areas graded as did not meet expectations will mean retention in the same grade level for grades 1 to 10. Letter A, 3 or more. Letter B, 2. Letter C, 1 or 2. Or letter D, 1. What's our choice? Number 6. Number 6, ano po ang inyong choice? I see letter A's. Hi, good evening, Ma'am Mek. Apo po ako ni Brunner. Sabi ni Sir Vien Arduin Jimenez. Hello po, good evening. I miss your voice, Ma'am Mek. Love you. I love you too, Ma'am Marie Chris Ondangan. Of course, isa na sa ating mga LPTs. Hello po. Hello, Ma'am Mek. Sabi ni Ma'am Rhea Gabrilios. Isa din sa ating mga LPTs from Team Piaget. Good evening po, Ma'am Rhea. Okay, letter A. Ma'am Apple Alonso, good evening po. All right, letter A for question number 6. No? So yung ating questions dito, ilan dapat yung grade mo na did not meet expectations para ma-retain, no? Para hindi maka-move sa next grade level. And so the correct choice here would be letter A, 3 or more. Now, ano po yung mangyayari kapag ka less than 3? Kapag ka 1 or 2? Kapag ka 1 or 2 yung did not meet expectations, what's the next step? Okay? Kung hindi siya mariretain, what happens? Kapag ka isa or dalawa lamang po yung ating did not meet expectations. Ayan, sabi ni Sir J. Ayan Meneses, remedial. No? So remedial, magre-remedial po yung bata. Kapag ka naipasa yung remedial, the child can now be can now be moved, no, to the next level. Okay? So, pero kapag ka tatlo or more than tatlo did not meet expectations na grades ng bata, the child would be retained in the same grade level, no? So, medyo masaklap, all right? So, number 6, letter A, ang ating tumpak na choice. We go to number 7, the teacher directs students in conventional and procedural use of technology tool. Ayan, napag-usapan natin kanina. Your hint would be the term conventional, the usual. procedural use of technology tool. Letter A, entry. Letter B, adoption. Letter C, infusion. Or letter D, constructive. Okay, ano nga yung ating hinahanap for number 7? Number 7. So again, if you are a member of Team Skinner, dire-diretso po yung ating panunood. Hindi po napuputol yung ating video sa Team Skinner. And of course, you have the access sa ating online quiz and sa ating PDF files after this. Okay? So kapag ikaw naman po ay member ng ating Team Facebook at Team YouTube, no? So, preview lamang po yung ating nakikita. Enjoy the full video and download our material. Sabi nga, join Team Skinner by sending a message to Gurong Pinoy's Facebook page. This is the Facebook page, no? And of course, we have Team Pavlov for March Let 2024, okay? All right, number 7, letter B, and that would be tumpak. Now remember, entry. Unang-una, the teacher just begins to use the technology. Adoption, the teacher directs the students in the conventional use of technology. Next step is adaptation. The students are given a chance to explore a technology, pero yung teacher pa rin yung nagsasabi kung ano yung technology yung pwede nilang i-explore. Now, next would be infusion. Infusion po, the students are given the freedom to choose the technology that they can use. And of course, the last one would be transformation, the innovative use of technology, and without the technology, the class activity would be impossible. Okay, so those are the different levels of our technology integration. All right, so letter B, tumpak. For number 7, magaling, magaling, yayapang. We go to number 8. Number 8, no? Among thinking skills, complex cognitive means ability blank. Letter A, to integrate varied information. Letter B, to maintain distinctions. Letter C, to break down varied information. Or letter D, to identify and place ideas into categories. Ito yung medyo nakita kong maraming naligwak, no? Medyo hindi nagkakasundo ang taong bayan sa item na to, no? Siguro medyo bago sa paningin yung item na to. We are talking about complex cognitive abilities, complex cognitive thinking skills, no? So, ano kaya ang ating hinahanap? Okay, what is our choice for question number 8? Tama kaya yung hula mo sa number 8? Gumana kaya? Effective kaya ang pagiging Madam Auring mo? Or naligwak kaya yung inyong ini, mini, miny, mo for number 8? Okay, what do you think is the right choice? I see a lot of letter A's. Sabi ni Sir Jess Tommy Bastes Salinas, kakamiss mag-review dito, Ma'am Meg. Hello po, good evening. Our LPTs, no? Mga previous students natin, good evening po. Ayan, tanggap ko na, Coach Meg. Naligwak ka po for question number 8. Tingnan natin, baka naman po tumama yung inyong hula. Sabi ni Facebook user, mga babae yan, complex cognitive kapag nag-iisip. May hugot si Sir. Okay. What do you think is the tumpak na choice for question number 8? Now, among thinking skills, complex cognitive means ability. Ang tumpak na choice ay letter A, to integrate varied information. No? To integrate varied information, letter A ang ating tumpak na choice. Okay? Let's take a look at your slide. Tumama, no? Mukhang tumama. Yung iba naman mukhang naligwak. Okay? So number 8, these are the different thinking skills, the 7 thinking skills according to Literi in 1985. Unang-una, analysis, the ability to break down complex information into components. Parehas din siya ng analysis sa ating Bloom's taxonomy, di ba? So when you analyze, you break down a whole into its different components. Kumbaga, hinihimay-himay mo, no? That's analysis. Ability to break down complex information into components. Focusing, the ability to select relevant information. Kung ano lamang yung importante. If you are reading, for example, a review material tapos lecture notes siya, alam mo kung alin lamang dyan yung binibilugan mo usually, no? Ito yung mga relevant information. Ito yung mga importanteng data data, no? Yung mga importanteng information. That's focusing. You are focused on the relevant information. Number 3, ito yung ating hinahanap. Hindi pala, no? Complex cognitive pala yung kanina. Number 3, comparative analysis. You select from several options, from several alternatives. You compare information and you make proper choices. Aba, ang comparative analysis parang love life mo. Kapag ka marami kang manliligaw, di ba? You select from several alternatives. You compare the different information and you make proper choices. Okay? So yan po, comparative analysis. In other words, your love life, di ba? Select from your options, you compare them, and you make the proper choice. Ito yung jojowain ko na mukhang mabubuhay niya ako, for example, no? Or this, I think, is my ideal man, no? So, compare, you select from the different options, compare, and you make your proper choice. Number 4, narrowing, ability to identify and categorize new information. Okay? So, when you say narrowing, nakikita mo yung bagong impormasyon at nakakategorize mo siya. No? So, dito siyang category. Dito ko siya ilalagay na schema. You remember our schema, di ba? Our file cabinets inside our brain. Once you learn something new, you put it in the correct schema. You put it in the correct category. No? That's narrowing. Next one, complex cognitive. Ito yung hinahanap natin. Ability to integrate complex information into existing cognitive structures. So, ayan na, no? So, kumbaga, narrowing mo at complex cognitive, magkarugtong, no? So, ito, nakita mo, ay bagong impormasyon to. Siguro kailangan ko siyang ilagay dito sa schemang ito, no? So once you have placed it in that schema, you place it in your existing cognitive structures, yung tinatawag na nating schema, you place it in your long-term memory. That action now is part of your complex cognitive thinking skill. Okay? So complex cognitive na po yan. Number 6, sharpening, maintaining distinctions between cognitive structures and avoiding confusion or overlapping. If you already know the difference, diba? Meron tayong mga pinopost sa ating page. Handa ka na ba? What's the difference between operant conditioning and classical conditioning? No? Once you can already put the distinction, once you can already distinguish which ones will be part of your classical conditioning, which parts will be part of your operant conditioning, hindi ka na nako-confuse, wala nang overlapping, that's already sharpening. Kumbaga, medyo parte ka na ng team yabang, di ba? Sharpened na ang inyong memory, sharpened na yung inyong knowledge, okay? And lastly, tolerance, the ability to monitor and modify thinking of unclear information without getting frustrated. Okay, yun pala. Kaya pala, no? Kaya pala entry yung sagot, kaya pala hindi transformation or hindi adoption, no? So you are able to monitor, para siyang metacognition, na you are able to think about your thinking, to learn about your learning, and you are able to modify your misconceptions, diba? So pag meron ka misconceptions, na unlearn mo or na-relearn mo yung certain concept, no? And you do not get frustrated, hindi ka naiinis, hindi ka nag-give up, no? That's tolerance. Alright? So sana po klaro yung ating pong 7 thinking skills: analysis, breaking down a complex information; focus, you select only the important information; comparative analysis, love life mo, di ba? You select from your options, you compare, and you make your proper choice. Narrowing, you identify and categorize a new information, a new piece of information. Once you put that in your long-term memory, in the correct cognitive structure, that's already your complex cognitive, di ba? Integrating complex information. Sharpening, wala ka ng confusion, wala ng overlapping, distinct na, no, yung different cognitive structures mo. And tolerance, nababago mo yung mga misconceptions mo and you don't get frustrated. Okay? And so, letter A ang ating hinahanap na choice for that item. We go to number 9. Which best describes self-directed learning? Letter A, students take and pass all tests and quizzes. Letter B, peers assist each other in the recall of knowledge. Letter C, the teacher delivers learning inputs. Or letter D, students discover answers to problems. What's your choice? Sir Marvin Salarlincuna, hi Coach Mac, nakakamiss naman manood ng live ninyo. Natatandaan ko po dati every live session while washing the dishes, nanunood, nakikinig ako sa inyo. Ngayon LPT na po ako. Thank you so much po and good luck future LPTs. Hashtag Proud Team Brunner, hashtag Tatak Gurong Pinoy. Good evening and congratulations of course, Sir Marvin Lincuna. Okay, number 9, letter D. Letter D. For question number 9, tumpak kaya ang letter D? Team Yabang kaya ay naging successful sa letter D? Or genocide kaya ang mangyari? Okay? Self-directed learning. Andyan na yung inyong hint, di ba? You direct your own learning. Metacognition. Thinking about your thinking. Learning about your learning. And so here, the correct choice, of course, is letter D. Students discover answers to problems. Okay? So sila mismo yung nagdi-discover, di ba? This is discovery learning. They direct their own learning. Okay? So letter D is tumpak for question number 9. Yay! Sabi ni Ma'am Apple Alfonso. We go to number 10. Which of the following is true of brainstorming as a group dynamics activity? Letter A, true ideas surface in discussion. Letter B, ideas tax the brain. Letter C, no ideas are rejected. Or letter B, best ideas are selected. Okay, what's your choice? Ano? Hinihintay daw ni Ma'am Julie yung mga... okay. Iba pala. Sabi ni Ma'am Julie Litohon, kinakabahan ako pag nagsasabi si Coach ng genocide. Pero may Facebook user tayo, nakita ko yung comment niya. Hinihintay ko yung mga magpupusta ng cats and cars. May nagpupusta na ng cats and cars. Okay, number 10, letter C. Letter C, sagot ng bayan, letter C. We are talking about brainstorming, no, as a teaching strategy. Ano nga ba yung role or ano nga ba yung pinaka purpose ng brainstorming as a group dynamics activity? Of course, when you say brainstorming, your goal there is to generate as many ideas as you can, no, makakaalap ng maraming idea, no? That's brainstorming. That's the goal of brainstorming. And so, as a teacher, dapat po, your choice here would be letter C. No ideas are rejected. Kahit na medyo wild, weird pa yung idea ng inyong estudyante, you have to be tolerant. Hindi ka dapat tatawa, hindi mo dapat i-disregard, no, yung mga ideas nila. Because if you do that as a teacher, next time, no, the next time that you do brainstorming, hindi na magiging open yung inyong mga estudyante. Hindi na sila magko-contribute, no? Kasi sasabihin, hindi naman nakikinig eh. Kahit na sinabi natin ganito, no, ni-reject yung ating mga ideas, tinawanan, sinabing sinabing hindi maganda, no, yung idea natin. And so as a teacher, common question din po ito sa LET, as a teacher, you should suspend judgment, okay? Wag pong judgmental. Kumbaga, no, if you are doing brainstorming inside your classroom. So number 10, letter C, no ideas are rejected, ang ating tumpak na choice. We go, ayun, nagkulang sa pagiging plastic, no, kapag ka ni-reject mo yung ideas. Remember, when you take the LET, you have to activate your plastic mode, di ba? Pinakamabait dapat siguro when you take the LET. Number 11, which of the following characteristics is of primary importance in the choice of instructional aids? So ito, alam niyo na to, no? Stimulating and colorful. Letter B, suitable to lesson outcomes. Letter C, novel and true. Or letter D, at par with the grade level. What's our choice for question 11? Okay, number 11. Primary importance in the choice of instructional aids. Your instructional materials, your IM. When you say instructional aid, this is anything that you use in giving instructions, no? So kahit ano po, pwedeng PowerPoint, your presentation, po pwedeng yung materials for the worksheets, no? Po pwede po yan, instructional aid. What is the primary or the characteristic of primary importance? Pinaka-importante when you are choosing your instructional materials. And of course, ang tumpak na choice natin dito would be letter B. It should be suitable to our lesson outcomes, okay? So letter B is is tumpak for number 11. Hindi lamang dahil colorful siya, no? Hindi lamang dahil bago, novel, hindi lamang dahil akma sa kanyang grade level, pero dapat you have to consider the lesson outcomes. Lesson outcomes are your objectives. So letter B for question 11. We go to number 12. Which of the following features represents the new paradigm shift in education? Letter A, traditional pedagogies. Letter B, lifelong education for all. Letter C, rigid subject matter boundaries. Letter D, knowledge as the only learning outcome. What's your choice? For question 12. Okay, number 12. Ayan, plastic mode activated. Activate nyo na yung mga plastic mode nyo. Okay, so hanapin yung pinakamaganda, pinaka-positive. Okay, so the correct choice here, of course, would be letter B, no? Lifelong education for all, di ba? Progressivism. Education is a lifelong process, all right? So it's not traditional. Yung traditional mo ay essentialism, di ba? Essentialism, that would be traditional form of teaching when you believe that the teacher is the only source of knowledge, a traditional pa po yan. Rigid subject matter boundaries, we all know ngayon integrated na yung mga subject matter natin, they can all work together. Knowledge as the only learning outcome, we know that we have the 3 domains, okay? So it's not just knowledge, you also have the skills, and of course, you need to also teach the proper values, all right? So letter B for number 12. We go to number 13. How is periodic reporting of student grades useful? Letter A, as feedback. Letter B, as an obligation. Letter C, as way to please parents. Or letter D, as way to win support for the school. Okay, what's your choice? Number 13. Oh, aba, sino yon? Meron ako nakita nakakatawang comment. Hanapin ko po. Si Ma'am Julie Litohon. Napaka-genuine ko na tao, pero dahil sa Prof Ed, natuto na ako maging plastic. Sabi ni Ma'am Julie. Okay, lahat tayo magpapaka-plastic muna no September 24. Okay, so ano yung importance ng pagbibigay mo ng periodic reporting ng student grades? Now, usually dito sa Pilipinas, ginagawa siya after the grading period, di ba? So may first grading ka na report card, iba trimester, no? So after every trimester. But what's the importance of periodic reporting? Bakit kailangan nire-report natin yung grades ng students? Why is this useful? Ang correct na choice, of course, here will be letter A, no? So tama po yan, feedback. Para nakikita ng bata, nakikita ng parents kung ano yung dapat i-improve, ano yung medyo kailangan mag-double time sila na subject, no? Kahit sa inyo, di ba? Nakikita nyo din yan, no? The results of your Gen Ed and Prof Ed na test or quizzes. Okay? So hindi dahil obligasyon, hindi dahil gusto mo lang maging happy yung parents, no? Or to win support for the school, but it's letter A, it's feedback. Feedback is very important in the teaching process, di ba? Because we are trying to check for understanding and we are trying to monitor the learning of your students. So it's a process. Hindi siya dahil sa grade lamang, but you want to see the students' growth. So feedback is a very important tool para nag-guide yung ating mga estudyante kung alin yung mali, alin yung kailangan nilang improve, saan sila magaling. Okay, so that's feedback mechanism. So letter A, ang ating pong tumpak na choice. 14, what kind of preschool math application or apps should teacher Rose use in her kindergarten class? Letter A developmentally appropriate app. Letter B, an easy access high math app. Letter C, a beautifully designed app. Or letter D, a sophisticated app downloaded by the teacher. Yan, alam niyo na to, no? So, hinahanap, anong math application dapat yung gagamitin ni Teacher Rose? Her class is a kindergarten class. Okay? And of course, we know that it should be developmentally appropriate. Kahit na anong grade level, dapat po akma sa estudyante, sa grade level, sa mental capacity ng inyong estudyante, sa readiness nila, no, yung mga ginagamit ninyo sa pagtuturo. Okay? So, developmentally appropriate app. Hindi dahil madali lang siyang i-access, no, libre siya. For example, maganda siya, or sophisticated. Sophisticated can mean complicated, di ba? Baka hindi pa masyadong mag-gets ng mga bata. So letter A, developmentally appropriate app ang ating hinahanap. We go to number 15. What is the measure of relevance in education? Dito nakita ko din maraming naligwakers. Okay? Bakit kaya? No? Medyo maraming naligwak dito. Letter A, democratization of access. Letter B, functionality and meaningfulness. Letter C, ability to sustain education through the future. Or letter D, excellence and effectiveness. Okay, so sabi dito, relevance. When would you say that something is relevant? Di ba? Pag sinabi mong relevant, may pakinabang. It's useful. It is important. Okay? May pakinabang. May tawag dito, magagamit mo siya, di ba? So, may function. Ayan, samut-sari, no? Medyo marami tayong mga kagurong naligwak dito. May gamit. Ayan, sabi ni Facebook user. Tama po yan. And so, ang tumpak na choice natin dito is functional and meaningful. Okay? Functional and meaningful ang ating tumpak na choice. Okay? And so, the correct choice here would be letter B. Anong pinaglalaban natin, Ma'am Karen Casilaw? Sabi ni Ma'am Karen Casilaw, agree, kahit walang matutunan ang mga students, basta sila may sahod. Ano po yun? Sino po yun, Ma'am? Okay, ang tumpak na choice would be letter B, functional at may meaning, di ba? So relevance, functionality, and meaningfulness ang ating hinahanap na choice. We go to number 16. Which of the following ideas exemplify stereotyping that is unfair to student learners? And so, alam nyo na, nahanapin nyo dito ang mali, no? Hanapin nyo yung negative. Okay, so what do you think is the right choice? Sa number 16. Unfair to students. The students require quality instruction. The students from peasant communities are dull, no? From peasant, that means yung mga poor, no? So peasant, yung mga manggagawa, no? So all students from peasant communities are dull. So bobits, yung mga nasa peasant communities. All students have rights to be respected. All students can best learn at their own pace. And of course, ang tumpak na choice natin dito is letter B, no? So we are looking for something that's unfair, no? So letter B is tumpak for number 16. We go to number 17. Which kind of teacher planning establishes general content and is often prepared by a committee of experts? Ayan. Okay. Establishes general content done by experts. Letter A, weekly planning. Letter B, unit planning. Letter C, term planning. Or letter D, course mapping. Okay. So, ginagawa ng mga eksperto, usually if you are working in a school, so yung mga top admin mo, top level admin, top level administrators mo, no? So, sila yung gumagawa nito. And so, ang tumpak na choice natin, of course, would be letter D, course mapping. Okay, so kurso, the entire course. It might also be the entire subject, no? Pero mas mabusisi kesa sa unit plan, term plan, weekly plan. No? Weekly plan, of course, this is the plan for the week. Unit plan, only a plan for your unit, one unit. Term planning, it might be for your first semester, second semester, no? So isang term. All right, so course mapping ang ating tumpak na choice. We go to 18. What does it mean when a misdemeanor has a ripple effect on the class? Misdemeanor, of course, would mean misbehavior. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin kapag ka nag-ripple effect na ang misdemeanor? Letter A, that misbehavior will end, that the class will know the misbehavior, that the whole class is to be blamed for the misbehavior, or letter D, that it can affect the whole class. Okay, ang tumpak na choice of course I see letter D is, and letter D po ang ating tumpak na choice dito. Remember ripple effect, no? Pag sinabi mong ripple effect, if you see what a ripple is, di ba? Ang ripple po, meron kang tubig, kapag meron kang isang drop, from one drop, it can create bigger waves. Okay, so that means in your classroom, when someone has misbehaved, dapat po sinastop siya kaagad because it can affect the whole class. No? So, nai-influence niya yung seatmates niya until such time na mas marami na sa inyong classroom yung nagmi-misbehave. Okay, so that's the ripple effect. Misdemeanor can affect the whole class. So, letter D, ang tumpak na choice natin dito. We go to number 19, programming in computers is a course under ICT as assessment. None of the students passed the exam and acquired the certificate as they graduate the course. And if there are some students who pass, they are underemployed, no? So hindi sila employed at their own field, no? Maaring mas mababa yung sahod, hindi sila nasa posisyon na kailangan meron silang posisyon na ganito. Now, the primary problem of this course is students' learning and interest, curriculum design and instruction, teachers' teaching method, or letter D, schools' incapability to manage. What is our choice? Bakit kaya pumalpak yung isang kurso? Okay, bakit pumalpak ang isang course, no? Bakit? Ayan, what is your choice? Walang pumasa sa exam. For example, merong teacher education program sa inyo at walang pumapasa sa LET. Okay? So ano kaya ang problema? And so, of course, the correct choice here would be letter B, curriculum design and instruction. So kasama na po dyan yung teaching method, di ba? Sa instruction natin, kasama na po dyan yung teaching method mo. Okay, so design. Ito din yung minamanage din siya ng school mo. Students' learning and interest, kasama na din siya sa inyong instruction. Okay, so letter B po ang ating hinahanap na choice. Okay, so letter B is tumpak. 20, the following are guidelines in designing instructional materials except. Sana walang nabulag. Sana po nakita natin ang word na except. Okay, so alin dito ang hindi natin ginagamit na guide sa paggawa ng ating IM or instructional materials? Consistency, legibility, expensiveness, or letter D, quality. Okay, ayan, ayan. All right. Letter C, nagkakasundo ang lahat. And of course, the correct choice is expensiveness, no? Lalong-lalo na since dito po sa Pilipinas, si Sara Duterte lamang po yung may fund, di ba? Yung mga teachers walang masyadong malaking fund. Yung mga teachers palagi pong abonado, okay? So, the teachers would move away from those that are expensive, no? So, usually nga improvised na yung ginagamit ng ating mga guro. So, letter C, expensiveness, ang ating tumpak na choice. We go to 21, which of the following is an example of multimedia? A picture, video podcast, CAI in mathematics, or letter D, a book? Ayan, sabi ni Ma'am Karen Casilaw. Ang dami talagang hugot ni Ma'am Karen Casilaw. Ayan, confidential funds. Okay, what's your choice? Which one is an example of multimedia? Multimedia, ha? So, merong sounds, might have music, may video, may images, okay? So, what do you think is the right choice? Ang tumpak na choice po natin dito is video podcast, okay? Usually, ba, pag podcast, audio lamang siya, no? Pero this one is video podcast, okay? So, may audio, may video. Ang CAI mo is computer-aided instruction. When you say computer-aided, words po siya, no? So, para siyang naka-flow chart. No? So, if yes, go to this question. If no, go to this question. No? Para siyang ganyan. No? So, computer-aided instruction. Before I forget, kay B.F. Skinner din po itong computer-aided instruction. Okay? So, book, pictures, these are all 2Ds. Diba? Two-dimensional words lamang. No? So, letter B ang ating tumpak na choice. 22, how can the multi-grade system be set in place in order to respond to the needs of remote elementary schools where enrollment enrollment is low. Letter A, mainstream, special with regular students. Letter B, combined 2 to 3 grade levels. Letter C, assign teachers to specific grade levels. Or letter D, upgrade students to a higher level. Multi-grade system, okay? So when you say multi-grade system, another term for this would be combination classes, no? And so you know that it is letter B, combined 2 to 3 grade levels. Kasi po, mababa yung enrollment nila. For example, 5 lamang yung grade 1, meron kang 3 grade 2, may 6 na grade 3, no? So hindi siya umaabot sa max na enrollment, for example, or sa minimum na enrollment. And so you have to combine 2 to 3 grade levels. So nangyayari, meron kang isang teacher at ang teacher would go over, over the different groups that she or he has. No? So dapat akma pa rin, no? Differentiated yung kanyang materials, akma sa level na kanyang tinuturuan. So letter B is tumpak. We go to 23. How can teachers make parents find reporting of grades in their children meaningful? Okay? Paano nagkakaroon ng meaning ang grades, no, para sa ating mga parents? Lumabas na ito sa several times na, no, sa ating final coaching, by comparing grades of individual students, by distributing grade report cards, by telling parents the limitations of their children, by explaining grades and performance of students. Okay, ayan. Team Yabang activated. Okay, letter D, of course, is tumpak, di ba? You have to explain kung bakit ganito ang grades, anong meaning, no, ng grades na yan. Number 24, which is a good attention getter in introducing a lesson? Ito, marami din ako nakitang naligwak. Letter A, relate lesson with anecdotes. Letter B, reading lesson objectives. Letter C, assigning reading before the class. Or letter D, revealing lesson conclusions. When you introduce a lesson, okay, when you introduce a lesson, what can be a good way for you to get the attention of your students? Kumbaga, how can you motivate your students when you are introducing a new lesson? Ayan, samot-sari, halo-halo, maraming ligwak. Okay, ang tumpak na choice natin dito, how can you get the attention of your students when you are introducing a lesson? The correct choice here is letter A. You relate the lesson with anecdotes. So when you say anecdotes po, these are short stories, no, usually funny stories, di ba? Yung mga funny stories mo, no? You open, alam nyo ba, ito nangyari, and then you relate that with your new lesson. Hindi lamang reading your lesson objectives, di ba? Minsan nga, bored pa yung estudyante pag nakita niya, ganito yung lesson objectives natin. Of course, no yung letter D, no? Kasi dito may lesson conclusion ka na, although you are just introducing pa lang yung lesson. Assigning reading, nako, tutulugan ka ng inyong mga estudyante. Okay? So you start with a funny story, di ba? Gusto natin yung mga teachers natin will always start with a funny story and then relate that funny story with the lesson at hand. Okay? So letter A is tumpa. Ayun. Sabi ni Ma'am Angel ni Breha dito, magpapaka-plastic muna. Usually nagsisimula sa maglabas ng 1/2. Let's have a quiz. Alright, so letter A po, ang ating tumpak na choice. Good attention getter. Yung hint nyo dito, good attention getter. Okay, so gusto nyo makuha yung attention nila. And so medyo mayabang ka muna, di ba? May chika ka muna, magpapakamarites ka muna. Okay, so relate lesson with anecdotes, ang tumpak na choice. We go to number 25, the provision of academic freedom is applicable for teachers in colleges and universities, private tertiary institutions, basic education teachers, public schools only. Okay, what is our choice? Sana all may atensyon. Hindi ka po ba binibigyan ng atensyon? Kawawa naman si ma'am or si sir, Facebook user. Okay, letter A, number 25, and that's tumpak, no? May academic freedom yung ating colleges and universities, okay? Sa basic ed, okay? So basic ed natin, no, sa ating elementary, high school, nakakahon, di ba? Meron silang minimum learning competencies, di ba? Minsan meron pa silang prescribed na materials coming from DepEd, okay? So colleges and universities lamang yung may academic academic freedom. Wow, yabang, a piece of cake, sabi ni Facebook user. 26, which of the following is false about the community where the school belongs? In a wider perspective, community affects the school environment and vice versa. Letter B, the community is part of the learning environment. The students learn also externally. Letter C, the community serves as a school garden where local plants grow and children play. Letter D, there is an abundance of learning resources in the community, both human and material. Okay, what is our choice? Which one is false? At ang tumpak na choice natin dito is letter C. Tama po yung letter C, no? Yung letter C mo ay literal. Okay, school garden siya where local plants grow, children play. Now, we all know that the school and the community would affect each other, vice versa. The community is part of the learning environment because we have a lot of learning resources from our community. Okay, so letter C, ang tumpak na choice. Number 27, what are equivalent standards under the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers? Letter A, levels of qualification, certificates of training, accreditations of schools, or cost of higher education. Ito, gas-gas na, no? So, sana memoryado na to kahit nakapikit kayo. Alam nyo na kung ano yung sagot nyo dito. Ayan. Letter A, and that of course is tumpak. Okay, so PPST standards, that would be equivalent to the different levels of communication. Number 28, which of the following situations does not translate to a positive school culture? Okay, does not translate to a positive school culture. And so that means we are looking for something negative, diba? The individual successes of teachers and students are recognized and celebrated. School leaders, teachers, and staff members model positive and healthy behaviors for students. Relationships and interactions are characterized with competition, survival, and power grabbing. Letter D, students and staff members feel safe emotionally and physically, and the school facilities promote safety. Okay, not positive. And so we are looking for something negative. And so, yes, I see your choice. It's letter C, and that's tumpak, no? Dito patayan, di ba? Cutthroat, competition, kumbaga competition, survival, power grabbing, no? So hindi po pwede. Number 29, which is a field of study and an emerging discipline whose major aim is to create equal educational opportunities for diverse racial, ethnic, social class, and cultural groups. Very easy. Kahit nakapikit, alam nyo na yung sagot. Consensus in grouping, differentiated instruction, educational interaction, multicultural education. Okay, letter D, ang choice ng taong bayan, and that will be tumpak no, multicultural, di ba? So, iba-iba yung race, ethnicity, social class, cultural groups, but everyone should be included. Okay, so that's multicultural, equal ang lahat. Okay, so letter D is tumpak. And last item for tonight, as a student intern, I need to fully understand the expectations of my cooperating teacher to ensure blank. Letter A, better rapport and harmonious relationship. Ito, no, plastic mode activated ka sa inyong cooperating teacher. Letter B, greater familiarity on his or her needs and interest. Letter C, the development of learning materials. Or letter D, the establishment of classroom routines. Ayan. Sana po hindi nyo inaway yung inyong cooperating teacher. Because remember, they also grade us, no, during our evaluation. Taas kamay sa mga best in demo, best student teachers, okay? What's your choice? Bakit kailangan na maintindihan mo ang expectations ng inyong cooperating teacher? Kung ano yung gusto ng inyong cooperating teacher, kung ano yung ini-expect ng inyong cooperating teacher. Pag sinabi niyang dapat alas 7, Inday, nandito ka na, no? Hindi ka dapat nalilate. Dapat, Inday, eto, gagawin mo to, mag-check ka ng attendance. Inday, gagawin mo yung mga students, ganyan, etc., etc. Okay, the correct choice here, of course, would be letter A, better rapport and harmonious relationship. Very important that we have good relationships with them. Remember, they are your mentor during your practice teaching days. Now, your cooperating teachers are your mentor. You have to learn from them. And so, for that to happen, you have to have a good relationship with your cooperating teacher. Now, you have to follow their instructions. You have to listen to, and to understand, of course, their expectations. Okay? So, letter A, ang ating pong tumpak na choice. Ayan, ako na walang paki yung critic teacher ay, sad naman, Sir Francisco Rosales. Meron naman talaga mga critic teacher na medyo walang pake, no? Yung mga pa-retire na, usually. Okay? And so, ang tumpak na choice dito would be letter A. And that ends tonight's discussion. Tomorrow, until Thursday, I will see you for our classified files. Classified files po would be 100 items per session. It's going to be a fast drill, no? So, fast drill, yung ating tawag dito, yung ating mode or ang ating format to be fast drills, question, then 2 choices, then short explanation of the most common items that you find in the LEP. Okay, so that would be from Tuesday to Thursday, kasama niyo po ako. Then Friday, you'd have Coach Toto, still for your favorite math. Then of course, you have your last weekend with your majorship. And next week, ganun pa rin po, na classified files pa rin tayo with Coach Jun naman 2 sessions and with me 2 sessions. And of course, Friday po, last minute tips na tayo. And Saturday, good luck mass. And ayan na po, ting, 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 ting. Mahiwagang bell ni Coach Jun, licensure exam for teachers na po. So walang bibitaw, walang magkakasakit, walang mamamatay. Let us all manifest, let us all pray, and let us all work hard for you all to become licensed professional teachers very, very soon. This has been Coach Mac of Gurong Pinoy. And of course, I leave with the saying, malit man nabuti lang mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat and good night.